every week and had small quibbles, and they discussed their quibbles over lunch right after church. And so I listened to them hear the word of God from the man of God, and not just kind of let it wash over them like everything he said was true, but they tested the spirits, and sometimes they definitely fell into probably like gossiping or judging. I'm sure, like, of course, they made mistakes and went too far, and there are they have personality foibles that can get carried away. But like all that to say, that was where the kind of perhaps skepticism, healthy or not, was inculcated for me. But obviously, you can see how that would be wrapped up in issues of authority,
Yes.
which I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, does that get back to the kind of, is that why the unconditional trust is connected to the unconditional respect in some weird way? That kind of authority structure. I did real when I was a young man, I kind of thought that like all truth was based on authority, because you had to, in order for trust to be, or forever, in order for you to hear something and trust it, you had to trust the person that was giving it to you. And the best way to trust somebody is for them to be an authority over you, because they're kind of, you're entrusted to them. On a little play on words, you're entrusted to them, so you trust them. But yeah, now I give a little bit more agency to the individual, and a little bit more variety to the human population about how they, behave in those types of relationships. But I think the truth still, like, I think that there's still a nugget in there that might be helpful for your problem, Af, which is to say, I don't think you teach a healthy skepticism with with something that's like not on the same level of importance or truth or reality. Like you teach that healthy skepticism with like the most important things in life, which are, for my family in that context was, the word of God given by the man of God on Sunday. So, yeah.
I left brain the shit out of it.
If you only love those who act like you and do the things that you want, even the pagans do that. It's Christian love when you love your enemies. Up to and including your enemies. That is Christian love.
And that's where I see the internet losing its mind, and it's like,
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do.
Good evening, Embody. Afriel here. We hope that you're feeling virtually not alone. And tonight, I want to talk a little bit about how you should smoke your meat instead of gorging yourself on the carcass. So we'll go ahead and get into the game. Good evening, Spatch, Mr. Questuarian. And I'm going to try and work off of no notes because trying to read off of notes for a first-person shooter did not work at all last time. So we're just going to frickin' wing it and hope for the best. Just let them all jump at me from up here and then, you know, pick them off one at a time. So anyway, this topic comes from a conversation that I had with a friend on our way up to the campout that we had a couple of weeks ago. And we always have good conversations whenever we're on our way to a campout. But this one was particularly good. We were trying to figure out... There we go. These things are really annoying. Okay. That's a good way to start off the stream. Does 2 half-lives make a whole life? Something like that. And so the topic that we got onto that we were trying to figure out was why, in so many cases, people tend to... Let me see if I can, like, bait them up and then shoot the barrel, maybe? Why is it... There are so many cases of people spending all their money right away to the point of, like, taking out significant quantities of debt in order to do whatever it is that they want to do. Like, what is it that's driving that? Oh, I can use my gravity gun. That would probably be a smarter way of doing this. And I could try and, like, shoot it at a cluster like that. That'll work. Oh, and I lost it. Oop, I almost fell off the edge. Come here. Come here. Tagged myself, but that's alright. And so, the thing that I kind of realized as we were talking was, in the same sort of way that Grizz talks about campfire circuitry, there seems to be a sort of corpse consumption circuitry. And what I mean by that is... Let me just do that. There we go. Historically, if you were a hunter, you needed to... Oh, come on. If you were hunting... and you went and you got a carcass, you would need to make quick use of it, because if you didn't, the meat would go bad, and then you would have wasted all of that effort for a kill that you didn't even get to benefit from. I need to make sure I see where they're coming at my head. Thank you very much, Ups. Oh, what was... Oh, I think the goal was doing a stream as the Cheshire Cat, so I don't know if I'll do it on this one, but I will do it on the next one for sure. Golly, these things are annoying. You gotta, like, aim right here, I think. No, I don't want to use the Deagle, or whatever it's called. Just use the handgun. There we go. Am I out of shotgun shells? Oh, come on. Are they just continuing to spawn in? Is that what this is? Do I need to figure out my way out? Yeah, that's what we need to do. Alright, well, next stream, the Cheshire Cat will make an appearance. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, thank you, Ups. Very, very much appreciated. Can I just make a run for it? Because I'm supposed to go up that way, it looks like. Okay, just... Nope, it doesn't want to come up. Run! Run like the wind, bullseye! Oh, and I overshot it. Oh, that's not... Well, I thought that was the way out, but apparently not. Probably didn't need to pick up a... And I can't... That's one thing that I don't get about this game, is why I can't pick up head crabs with the gravity gun. That just makes sense to me. Also can't sprint with it. Is this where I'm supposed to go? Am I supposed to blow that up? Or just shoot a barrel at it? Regular barrel? Oh, I can just hold a barrel in front of me. That probably works better to deflect them. Can I just do that? No. That's not working. That's not working either. Well, that should take care of some of them. How do I get out of here? Ticks dropping on your head. Yeah, ticks are not great. We don't really have them out west, but they are definitely a problem. Oh, it's supposed to go over. Okay, I see. I see. Do I have to, like, crowbar my way back down? Or do I just crouch and walk? Let me through! Let me out of here! And we're down in the water. Okay, well, you know what? We've seen worse. We've seen worse. At least we made it through. Probably should refill on oxygen first. Anyone want some roasted head crab? Kelly's good. She's been having some bladder incontinence issues, so we took her to the vet today, and she was displeased. Took a nice poo in the waiting reception area, just to let everybody know that she was not happy with this arrangement. Am I going to get pulled up by one of these things? Okay. But she was very well behaved. We got her all checked out. I was going to try and land on that, but that didn't work out, so... let me just get up on here for a second. Here we go. Or was that my way out? Oh, lovely. Humans remains. But yeah, I got her checked out. They took some urine and blood samples, so we'll be hearing back in a little bit what's going on. She might have just a UTI, which would be honestly the best case, because then cleared up with antibiotics, and then she'll be fine. But anyway, back to the stream conversation. So, after I recharge my flashlight, we were talking about, like, what is it that causes people, like, if they get a bunch of lottery winnings, to spend it all? What is it that causes people, when they get their tax returns at the end of the year, to just spend it all in one place, rather than saving it up or trying to store it? And the thought that I had, and he agreed with me, was this notion of, like, corpse consumption circuitry, where if you kill something, you need to eat it before the meat goes bad. And if you are something that doesn't have the capacity to smoke things, if you're something that is reliant on... Oh, I have to just go over it. That's what... Okay. If you are reliant on the bounty as it comes to you, if you're a wolf or a bear or whatever, then you do need to eat it all at once and gorge yourself. And then after you have gorged yourself, you will then put on as much of it as you can as fat. This seems interesting. Can I turn it on? Should I turn it on? Can I just pull this? Whee! And then I'll come back down. Okay, so I'm going to run up there, I'm going to bait some stuff, and I'm going to run back down. I'm assuming that's how this is going to go. Oh, wait, no. I have to, like, turn it off. Maybe? It's not letting me turn it off. Have I made a terrible mistake? I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. Well... Oh, maybe I haven't. Hello, fellas. How goes it? That actually worked out pretty well. Nope, nope, nope. Oh gosh. I thought I could just run past them, but apparently not. Oh, it's like a hard steel cable, so they can't actually come past it. That's convenient, actually. From Skank, interesting. I was listening to some Mathieu Pichot today who was saying light is just fire to the primordial symbolic mind, so offering things up to divine light gives it back to you in a durable form. Yes, that's... Ooh, that's interesting. I like that. But yeah, the issue with it, though, is like I don't know how you can convince people to shift their behavior. It's one of those things where you have to kind of experience it for yourself first, and then after having experienced it, then you can start to appreciate the value. I know you don't die in one shot. I'll just get the crowbar out and kill it that way. Yeah, you. Okay. Seek medical attention. Oh gosh, these guys. I mean, please. Oh gosh. You closed that distance way faster than I thought you were going to. What else should I go for? I have Deagle ammo, or 357 Magnum, I guess. Not that much though. Maybe. Oh. Well, that's convenient for me now, but it's not gonna be convenient for me in a second here. I think I'm gonna have to grenade you, sir. I'm sorry for this, because you did just help me out, but sorry about that. I don't know what I should go with. I guess this one. The 357. But yeah, okay. Hello, sir. Alright, so I'm gonna have to like move between cover. I wonder if I could use one of these, if I can send it that far. Hello. No, that's not going there. Can I go in here? Is this open? Yeah, because that is kind of the... Oh, why am I holding a barrel that can explode? That seems like a terrible idea. Can I get up on that? No? Okay. No. That's not good. Hmm. I think we all saw that one coming. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open it up because I can't keep a narrative going to save my life while I'm trying to play a shooter game. So if anybody wants to join me, I'll be on the gaming couch, and I will actually remember to start streaming right away. There we go. Just stop. Not enough serpentine. It's not, I mean, you can put suppressing fire down on a sniper, but it's not really, like, I'm trying to think if there's another way of doing this. Well, that'll do that. If we get close enough. Hello. Oh look, it gives you grenades because it knows that's what you need. Slash, as a hint to you, to use grenades. Well, that takes care of that problem. Yeah, and this is kind of tied to my... Whoa, okay, hello. Probably shouldn't just tank shit. Ow. And the reason I say it's tied to bread wardening is because there's always a temptation whenever you have a store or a bunch of values stored up to then... I need to pull OBS back up so I can see chat. When you... and I respawn on 6 health. That's great. When you have a bunch of value stored up in the form of bread warden, right? That means that you then have the temptation to just consume all of your bread at once. Golly. I mean, I think we just have to go with grenades. Well, he came around the corner. So, you have that sort of value, and you have the temptation to... And that didn't hit them at all. Can I pick him off with a pistol? Can at least suppressing fire him with a pistol. God dang! We win in the counter-terrorist round with this one, guys, if I don't step on a grenade. There we go. Oh, there's health packs. That's convenient. But yeah, how do you get somebody... There's a little Half-Life symbol there. That means there's a supply drop somewhere nearby. How do you get somebody to recognize and appreciate the value of storing resources for themselves beyond just the sort of like Get off the grenade. Okay. Come back across. Oh, okay. Yep. If I can aim for shit. There we go. And we're back down to 9 health. Oh, I'm actually full on... Who's shooting at me and where? Oh. Three round bursts, Ryan. Follow your training, follow your training. That'll do. Not the most graceful, but we got them. Hi, guys.
Gordon Freeman. It's incredible you made it. We've been getting communications from Alex. I'll see if I can reach her again. Follow me.
We'll keep the SMG. Yeah. Because, I mean... I'm trying to parse my thoughts together. Over where? You're saying over here, but I'm not... Okay. To you? Okay. This way.
It's Leon. We're all clear. And I've got Gordon.
So, like, if you buy in bulk, for instance, generally speaking, it's a per unit discount.
I've been on the line with Alex. Her father's been captured.
So you're paying less on a per unit basis, and so if you're able to keep it in store... Oh goodness, they're not doing well. If you're able to keep in store your own stuff, then you can make out pretty well, usually saving anywhere from like 20 to 50% on most of the stuff rather than buying it on a more like single item basis from a convenience store or whatever. But that means that you have to do the mental work of having a place that you're storing things and then managing that storage, which isn't trivial and it's not valueless. That's why that's why you can charge more money for single items than you can for bulk items, is because if people are only buying what they need when they need it, then they're not doing that mental work. So there is value being provided, but I think in most cases, especially in American economies, it's way overcharged relative to the value that you're actually getting out of it. I have to actually be next to him. Yes, I did. Through the head crabs. Made off with Judas Mossman. She totally wasn't in on it, guys. Totally wasn't in on it.
You wanted to take the coast road? You won't last 5 minutes on foot. It's spawning season for the antlion.
Antlions? What are those? I feel like I should be worried about those.
Yeah, good idea. Hold on a sec. Norco, bring the buggy out. Put it on the dock right now. Gordon Freeman.
Also, I hate that I only have like equivalent of 3 mags of this.
Good timing. Okay, Alex, we're all set.
Thanks, Leon. Gordon, I haven't driven the coast over here, but I have no reason to think it's gotten any safer. Meet me in the depot where the trains unload. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in Nova Prospect.
Sounds good.
Bye for now.
Bye, Alex.
Off we go.
Okay, Doc. Before you hit the road, you might want to grab some med kits, restock on ammo, maybe check the map, see where you're headed. There's an ammo supply crate on the back of the car.
The map?
It's in comfort.
Where's the map?
Stay with the car.
I didn't see any map.
You'll stand a fair chance against the antlions. I'll radio ahead to let the next base know you're coming. Shore point to NLO. Shore
Is there
point
actually a map?
Odessa.
No, no M key.
Odessa. You read.
Well, off we go.
Shore point to NLO.
Hello, Dr.
A dune buggy?
All ready for you.
Sweet.
I'll lower you down to the beach.
I'm being picked up by a crane. I mean, I guess Yeah, don't put me down into the line of fire, please.
Sorry, Doc.
Okay. Well. That was a great way to start the mission. Do you guys do any maintenance? Good grief. Well, let's see if this is a task that the 0-point energy manipulator can be. I'd love to. There we go. Oh, that was a very unnatural movement. There we go. Alright. Who wants some bug splatter on the windshield that we don't even have? Okay, I probably should not get myself stuck on a log. Okay, okay, okay. Cheers. Oh, that's... Okay, well... That's an interesting place to spawn back in. Not on a straight piece of road or anything. There we go. Up the road. I'm assuming it's this way? Not easy to tell. That does not look like a road. Can I go this way? Nope. Back down and then around. Yeah. It's like one of the things that I keep reiterating is I want people's sovereignty to improve. I want people to find ways to... I'm going just back to the start, aren't I? Yep. Okay. I want people to be able to assert themselves, and one of the really important parts of being able to assert yourself is having food, water, and heat security in such a way that you are actually able to say no confidently. Oh, I am supposed to go up there and then jump across that. Okay. I think I'm supposed to jump across. How did you hit me? I'm in a moving car. Here we go. Hey! That didn't work out too bad. Whoop. Don't go off the cliff. Up this way. And so... But if there is that temptation, right, that temptation to eat everything that's in front of you all at once. And the real problem with that is that because of the way we've structured debt, now it's not just what's in front of you that you can devour, it's also everything that somebody else is willing to give you at interest. I don't think I was supposed to go that way, but it worked out. And like, how do you get people to, like, it's not even so much of a compound interest question, although that would definitely be part of it too, of like getting people to understand that. Where are you coming from? I see the subtitles that I'm being attacked by an antlion, but I don't see... Okay, that's locked. Oh, that's not good. Why did a charred corpse just fall through the busted roof? Well, there's head crabs. That's fun. Excuse me. Locked. And stay down. Was there anything else in here? No, it doesn't seem to be. Oh, somebody moaned. I just pissed it off. Would you kindly let me kill you? Not even 2 shots of the handgun? That's very frustrating. Yeah, I see that as one of the main problems that exists because, and like, so say you're able to get people organized for whatever cause or purpose that it is that you're trying to do. Say you're able to get them to rally together and overthrow somebody or whatever your dream is. Okay, you've done that. Now what? Or, hey, you don't even necessarily have the resources to do that, right? You're just LARPing. You're just trying to assume that you would be able to do what it is that you're trying to do. Gosh darn it. But if you don't have the resources available, or if you are continually lacking the resources because other people around you that do have resources are continuously tricking you into believing that you can just do things in a certain way and not have any consequences to it, like what do you do with that? I don't think that a lot of people are thinking along those lines of like how much better they could just make their own life by handling their own vices or something to that effect. Of course, that doesn't kill you. Get your little neurotoxin-y butt out of here. And now I know that there's a... Okay, sir. Would you kindly? Why is that hitting the wall? That's not where I'm aiming. There we go. Much better. And that didn't kill you. Oh, fun. Mag dump. How did the grenade not kill all of you? That's just irritating. Okay. Oh, that's why it's locked. And I get an antlion greeting. Thank you, sir. Is that something that summons antlions? It is, isn't it? That's great. Let's get the heck out of here. I feel like that's not the way to go, though. And we're upside down. That's fun. Oh my goodness. I really don't need to be wasting ammo on these guys, because they just keep spawning infinitely. Okay, we came up here, and there was no way to go back down. Okay. So maybe around this way? And up this way. There we go. Maybe. Probably shouldn't hit the turbo unless I know where I'm going. Can I? Yep. Yeah, it's not working. What am I missing? Just hold the handbrake for a second. Have a sip of a think. Because I don't think it's up that way. That makes less sense to me. Back down this way makes more sense to me, but also I'm now stuck again. There we go. Alright, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? What am I supposed to be doing that I'm not doing yet? How are these antlions biting me as I'm running around on the beach? Can I just blow through that? No. Oh, there we go. See, simple as. You just gotta blast through some walls sometimes. Stop seeing impermanent things as permanent. Like that. Antlions are not permanent, as evidenced by them exploding. Okay. I feel kind of bad, but at the same time I don't. Oh, he's spying. Okay, okay. There's some folks across the water. Okay. Yep, I should have guessed that you weren't alone. Whew! Why? Why are you coming in here? Stop it. Note to self, if you see a guy like that, check for the other people first. Because he's not going anywhere. But that guy probably has backup. Probably has a partner. And then a random antlion just to, you know, sweeten the deal. Because why wouldn't we sweeten the deal with a freaking antlion? Although I will say I'm kind of surprised that they didn't like pull up on me as I came up on them. Like, oh hey, there's a random dune buggy coming this way. Maybe we should go and check that out. Nah, it's probably fine. It's probably one of our guys coming in and do a resupply drop, you know? Oh, nope, that's not our guys. Cool. We're just gonna keep right on rolling then. Should I stop in here? Should I see what this little hidey hole has to offer? feel like it's just going to be more combine, but the opportunity for
Freeman,
ammunition. Oh,
hurry, get in the basement. We're expecting gunships at any moment.
okay.
Colonel Cummings, the steerable rocket launcher is our best bet for taking down a gunship.
Steerable rockets. Heck yeah.
I'll be right with you. Now, where was I? Yes. Using the laser gun, you can steer your rocket past the gunship's defenses and prevent it from shooting down your rocket. This will only anger it at first, but if you can survive long enough to make several direct hits, you'll be rewarded with a prize worthy of any.
Ooh.
Now, who's going to be the lucky one to carry it into combat?
Me. Pick me.
Yes, Gordon Freeman. Couldn't have asked for a finer volunteer. Colonel
Why, thank you, sir.
at your service.
Probably shouldn't shoot it in here, huh? Well, guess we better get to our battle station. Okay, so you gotta like shoot it off to the side and then aim at it. There we go. And then try not to get hit. That's 2. That's 3. And that's dead. I should probably not be strafing around in the open field. That probably is part of the problem.
Is our best bet for taking.
Also pick up health, so I'm at full health. Just give me that.
I'll be right with you.
Just, no, give it to me. You're gonna give it to me in a second anyway. Just give it to me now.
Your rocket past the gunship's defenses and prevent it from shooting down your rocket. This will only anger it first.
How do you explain to a bunch of people that you're a time traveler
Make several direct hits. You'll
without being just an impatient jackass?
any mantelpiece. Now, who's going to be the lucky one to carry it into combat?
Me. Thank you. Please.
Couldn't have asked for a finer volunteer.
Yes. No, give. Thank you. Is up here any better? Yeah, this is a much better vantage spot. Bro, you probably shouldn't be right there. Just saying. Oh, that was solely supposed to hit the roof. It's 2 hits. 3 hits. Where are you at? Nope. 4 hits. There we go. Well, that takes care of that. I guess we go back down and check in with the guys.
Well, that's that. I gather you've disposed of that gunship, Dr. Freeman. Your reputation, sir, is well deserved. I shall
Yep.
have someone open the
Definitely did it on the first try, too.
gate and drive on. I understand that Dr. Vance is in great need.
Yes.
Use extreme caution when approaching the bridge. Radio silence from that outpost leads me to believe it has come under combine control. Still,
Combine control, well, then we're going to have to go and liberate.
anyone can. Farewell. And please tell Dr. Vance that Colonel Cabbage regrets not having
Colonel Cabbage.
to him in person.
You do kind of have one of those heads. Alright, off we go. Where did I come in? Just in the back here? Or up the stairs. Well, either way, I can just jump down off the roof. Don't do this don't do this at home, kids. Oh no. You stay away. Don't need none of your nonsense. Don't you yar me. Alright, where are we going exactly? He said something about a gate and a bridge. But it's kind of hard to tell where to go off of a map when you don't know which way north is. Can I just... They don't even light on fire! Just zap... Oh, there we go. Much better. I feel better, at least. Good grief. Oh, this gate. This road. I'm assuming I gotta go around. There's a bridge. I totally just ran over a guy. Whoops. Or ran over a dead guy. Pretty sure that's a combine truck. We're just gonna try and drive on by. Problem is I don't quite know which way we're going.
Hello, sir.
Howdy, Ron.
Oh,
How are you
all
this
right.
evening?
Well, I just got done with a nice night of worship.
Mhm.
Got cleaned up, and I saw you were lost because you don't have a compass, and you're complaining.
Yep.
Good.
I don't know where I'm
Have you-
going. And I just... Okay. I just waterlogged my car.
What's the game? Is this what you played last week?
Yep, Half-Life 2.
Half-Life. Okay, gotcha. How are you doing?
Died a bunch, but not like too many times, so you know, making it work.
I missed it.
You'll
I'm
get plenty
so-
more opportunities.
Well, I appreciate the optimism. I do.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't know if that's optimism.
No, it is. It is truly. See, this game is a lot more. This reminds me of the games I used to see my friends' kids play back in the aughts and teens.
Mhm.
It's the movie, or not the. It's the Ghoul with oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's the
Fallout?
radioactive waste.
You talking about
Hello.
Fallout?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Fallout. Yeah, they played that game, and I remember it was so weird seeing the zombie wearing a cowboy hat,
Mhm.
the ghoul, and it was, you know, just having the gun out front and just really moving frenetically. That's the right word, but it was just,
Mhm.
you know, it reminds me of that. It seems like it takes a little bit of talent too. You just can't.
Mhm.
You don't know what buttons you're pushing. You're gonna die.
I don't want to die though. I'm trying not to die.
Well, then suck less at
I'm
life,
trying.
okay?
I'm trying.
Now, how come you have the mini storm ship trooper bugs? That's what those look like. Storm ship trooper.
Those are called antlions, and they are. We're just whacking people with crowbars now.
You are the answer.
I
Looks like you
am
are.
whacking the people who. Man, I have a really hard time focusing enough to talk and
Yeah.
shoot at the same
Kill.
time.
Kill.
I gotta kill.
Kill. See that right there? That was really jarring to look at.
Me
At
like
least it's
spinning the camera as I'm sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get shot, so I was trying to do like a little serpentine.
Right.
I think I can grenade these guys. Maybe. Nope. That didn't work. Can I climb up and get them this way? Yes. Let's reload first. Okay, we're good.
Do you have
So
any
sorry.
deep?
What were you saying?
No, no. Do you have? Oh, this is so bloody. Wow. Like, this isn't Sequest.
No, it is not.
You know, I have a random thought. I wonder if there's a shark video game where you get to either kill sharks or be the shark and eat people.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that would be a bloody game. Probably would go over well in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Who
would
doesn't
be.
want to be a shark?
And you could be a Maori. No, wait. Maoris are in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you could still be a Maori.
Yeah, I think the
They get eaten by sharks.
just Aboriginals in Australia.
Yeah. Right. Right. Now, do they have sharks around Ireland? I would imagine they do.
Mm-hmm. They got sharks everywhere. Different kinds of sharks.
Right. That's right. Golly, you always think about Ireland as just leprechauns, Guinness, and green. You know, you don't think about sharks.
You don't think about sharks in most places except for coastal sorts of places.
True. But that's what I'm thinking. In Ireland, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they probably, you go to the coast, they'll be like, yeah, you got it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You'd run around with one leg. You're like, yeah, okay. But it doesn't seem to be part of their, you know, their heritage, at least too much. It's not.
No, there's probably other fish that they eat rather than sharks. So.
Oh yeah, but it just doesn't seem. Maybe Irish people don't swim that much around their coastlines. They're not like.
No,
It's not like Australia.
it's a little chilly there.
Right. You know, everyone's in a wool sweater all the time.
Mm-hmm. Sunburn is a fun thing that you do once a year.
Right. 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 So you're at the beach with a wool sweater and a Guinness. Not so that's what you know. You're not going to get eaten by a shark. You're like, all right, I'm going to go to the pub. Got it. So with that out the way, is there any theological thinking going on today, or a deep thought? Because I heard you talking about food supplies for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about deep thought. The main thing that has been on my mind is from a conversation I had with a friend on our way to our camp out. Mm-hmm. And basically recognizing that the thing that causes a lot of people to spend more than they have and get themselves into credit card debt or just spend everything from their tax returns, that seems to be related to sort of corpse circuitry or corpse devouring circuitry, corpse consumption. I don't have a good name for it.
Can you repeat that?
So
a corpse. What did you call that?
So that was. Don't mind me just jumping off of a crane because I was trying to climb a ladder and didn't touch it correctly. You know what? We're just going to take that because I was going to have a sip while I was waiting to respawn. And oh, that's why I'm not seeing everything. I'm so sorry, Joe. I've had my stuff on top chat and not on live chat, so there's been a bunch of stuff that people have been saying that I have not been seeing. There we go.
Oh,
whoopsies.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we should be better now. Alright. Any hoozles. Yeah, you have issues with people getting their tax return and then spending all at once. And what I think is happening there is that the same circuitry of like I killed an animal and now I have to eat all of it before the meat goes bad.
Oh,
It's that
gotcha.
same circuitry.
Hmm. What if it's not even that wholesome? What if it's just hedonism?
I mean, maybe, and I think that hedonism definitely plays part of it, but like what I want to try and do is understand where that hedonism is coming from, or like what's driving it. And
Right.
so, because it's not just pleasure, it's pleasure that's riding something else.
Well, what if, and I'm just gonna, all right, I'm gonna beat this horse for a while, see if it's dead. What if it's simply a lust of the flesh? So,
Right,
okay,
but
so I
then
need,
what? Why do you have a lust of the flesh? Why do you have that gluttony or what have you going on?
okay, okay.
Because it's
Well,
one thing to identify that you have a problem, but if you don't actually understand the source of that problem, then it's very easy to misidentify how to resolve it.
okay, good point. Okay. Why do I think it's,
Why do people have struggles with gluttony? Why do people have struggles with
oh,
lust? Why do people have struggles with those
okay.
sins?
Um, well, okay, I'm thinking you have not because you ask not. When you do ask, you ask improperly. And
Hmm.
because I'm thinking the verse changed, I think.
Hmm.
And then it's from the heart that all these things come from. So it's going to be an issue of the heart, a
Hmm.
deficit. Um, that's interesting. Okay, what is that deficit? I mean, if I play this out, it would be a deficit of love and a relationship with, for me, it'd be a relationship with God and security.
Hmm.
Um, and then what else is there? I wonder if it's like greed.
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. I think I'm rabbit trailing. I'm close.
hmm.
Now, if you shoot me down, that's fine. What do you think?
Well, because we've talked about this before, that I think that um, I forget what it is. It's lust of the flesh. The other two are basically a shortened version of the seven deadly sins.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yep.
Right. I forgot. Okay. Right. I could look this up, but I'm trying to remember.
Hmm.
I don't want to cheat.
You're allowed
Um,
to cheat.
no, I need to use my brain. It's like yoga for the guy. You ever see the one truck driver in a yoga class that needs to learn how to stretch? Like it's just ugly looking.
No,
I'm that.
you're that dry.
I
You're
was
that
that.
guy.
Yeah, I am. I actually did that because I used to be a long distance runner,
Hmm.
and I tried to cut weight, and I'm like, oh, if I don't drink water and run long, I lose a lot of weight.
Hmm.
And a thing called dehydration hit me, and my tendons just got all they tightened up, and I totally destroyed. Well, it was tendonitis and all the typical stuff you get with that, but I didn't know how to deal with it.
Hmm.
And I stopped running for a long time, stopped stretching, and it got
Mm.
worse.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and then at the point where I forget how it happened, but I'm like, maybe I heard about stretching and yoga and all that. And so I went to a yoga class.
Mm.
And you had those girls, like this is before the the yoga was happening. Okay. This is like it
Before
was still a
hot yoga or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was still all the girls in spandex, and they could like, you know, just all kinds of twists, turns, and whatnot. And I'm like up there in my cut off blue jeans and a t-shirt, and it actually helped me actually helped me huge just by doing simple stretches that track runners, and just the simple stretches, but. the yoga instructor looked at me and said, "You have for your tendons, you have concrete rubber bands." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's not so good." But
No.
yeah. So how do I? Okay, what are we talking about? Because this is obviously a rabbit trail of, but I got better.
I got better.
Yeah, I got. I'm feeling better. I'm not quite dead. I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better. Oh, it's somewhere deep, and then I just drove it right. Truck driver took it right over the edge. With traction. Squirrel. Oh, come on, bringing me back. Where would before I?
Talking about yoga, talking about spandex.
Yeah, I know. God, this is not helping out.
It's helping me.
I'm
Yep.
dying here, people. This is my version of dying slowly and painfully.
It's more entertaining when there's
Enjoy.
more than one person dying slowly on stream.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, that's a pretty red. That's a red screen right there.
It's a dead screen. Because Kelly
It's
needs
a
some
dead
pets for a second before I go back to playing again.
So we were talking about 7 deadly sins,
Mhm.
and you're talking because this you had a conversation with your friend,
Mhm.
and it was about provision, or what was the motivation you were thinking?
So he struggles with gluttony a bit.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so talking in terms of that, but also like it felt like there was kind of a common thread between that and then the same kinds of like spending patterns where people will like get a tax return and spend all of it at once, or they will get like a lottery winning and then they'll spend it way faster and they won't like manage their wealth at all. And then the place that really comes and becomes a problem is when people spend their whole credit limit on their credit card and then chain themselves into debt for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
And so,
So, the root. You were asking about the root.
what's the root? What's the
And
root circuitry that's causing that behavior?
okay. By the way, Skank said, C. James says you can resolve those just lust of the flesh if you trust your survival needs are cared for.
Mhm.
I would have to, yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, and it would be survival needs for me. I would define it in and with God. But if you don't have, so then I'm going to go, if you don't have a relationship with God, you don't have those needs met, and then you have to try to do it yourself, and then your compass is a mess because you don't actually have a compass. You're trying to find north. You don't have a compass, and you're running around in a buggy and you die.
Repeatedly. And then
You are my true west.
Howdy, Neil. My true west. Is that even a saying? How about you're my Kanye West? I feel like that has a very different connotation, though, than what you were trying to go for.
Not so, Zero. Yeah, very different. How are you guys?
Doing well. How you doing?
Hanging in there. Hanging in there. Trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done before Christmas.
Still owe you a song. I got busy
No,
today,
well-
and then
You got me the more important one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's oh man, I'm excited. I just don't want to let you guys down, but if I do it right, it's gonna be great.
I'm looking forward to it.
It sounds like mischief is afoot.
Of course. When is there not mischief afoot?
I'm proud of you.
Last mischief I gave him hell.
I gave you my eggs. The nary next day. Toilet paper.
Oh my god.
That does not work at all.
Good art doesn't start off good art. It just starts off.
Sucking at something
It's
is the first step to
evolving.
being kind of good at something.
Well, yeah, it's evolving for something that has devolved.
A lot of unexpected awesomeness often comes from in the editing process. Like you get an unexpected, like, oh, it's I didn't intend that at all, but it's way better if I do it that way, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Comedy happens. You don't plan it.
Which, by the way, I can't remember which stream it was that my mom was listening back to, but she was listening back to one of our old streams, and there was a comment that we made about how if Adam and Eve were Cajun, then they wouldn't have eaten the apple, they would have eaten the snake.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yep.
I think I might have to find that and like clip that out and make a short out of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is really
Yeah.
Man, we got to make some boots out of this one, girl.
Yeah. So the fall of man is caused by a because of a vegetarian diet.
Mm-hmm. Gotta eat the snake.
Yeah, that's it. All vegetarianism, therefore vegetarianism
is evil.
Is evil. Yes, there we go. Which causes gluttony.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. For every animal they don't eat, I'm going to eat 3.
There's a place for all God's creatures right next to the mashed potatoes.
Actually, I could do the Catholic joke, which is for dinner, Mary had a baked potato, some chickpeas, and a little lamb.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you did not.
Wrong, sir. How dare.
Oh, I am offended for the Catholic people.
I'm only allowed to make that joke as a Catholic. Like Protestants are not, they're not able to do that. You can make fun of your own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm telling you what. Oh my gosh, I'm Catholic adjacent. I just got twinged. You got offended. That was pretty gnarly. I not heard that one.
It's not original. I think that was a Far Side, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, oh that's good. Though. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty bad. You get the Charlie Kirk Award for that.
What's the Charlie Kirk Award?
It's the master debater.
You need you need an emoji of his giant head just popping up on your screen. That would be great.
Yeah, have you not seen the South Park episode with?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, it's excellent. It's not.
I heard he got a kick out of it.
Yeah, he did. He it's a South Park, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually funny. It's like, you get what you expect. But they do it so insultingly bad, but not mean. Mm-hmm. It's really well done. So that's where the reference, they get the Charlie Kirk Award. So. Mm. I think in time that one can come back because then if you own it, then you can use it. Mm-hmm. Then it's like having a little lamb.
A little lamb.
Yeah. Just like that.
And a little wham. Last Christmas,
I gave you my heart the very next day. You okay, Kelly? Oh, goodness. I don't have any more rocket launcher ammo. That's unfortunate. How am I supposed to survive
I'm all out of
this?
rocket launch ammo. I'm so lost without a rocket launcher.
Just, spam clear this?
Sounds about right.
So. Try not to get
You can't drive over them?
I mean, not really. They're kind of... I'm just in a buggy. It doesn't really want to drive over. There we go.
So, are you fighting aliens, or what's the story here?
I am fighting aliens and humans that aligned with aliens.
Traitorous?
I mean, that was one of the things I clipped out of Professor Zhang, listening to his stuff, was like, Yeah, if the aliens invaded, it wouldn't be the humans all uniting together to try and defeat the aliens. It would be different factions of humans trying to get the aliens to side with them against all of their human enemies.
Oh,
Kind of like
wait
the
a
French and
second.
Indian War.
Oh,
Oh dear.
well, but you're assuming that the aliens are reasonable in some way. What if they're just big ants? Like they just want to eat everybody.
What if we're on a farm already? What if we've been
Maybe
raised
they'll
by
be
aliens
vegan.
to be food?
From Vega.
Are they vegan?
Well, listen, they made fajitas, so you
That's
can't be all that. Yeah. All right. I got it.
Yep.
They, if they're aliens, they are not all bad, that bad, because I can talk with them. Trust me, they made fajitas. I'll turn.
You don't
I
understand,
will-
Ron. They're
I will-
interdimensional demons.
Well, yeah, but they make fajitas. So
They make
I'm like, wait a second. I can work with this. You give
We
me
call
a
them
lot.
fajitas down here.
That's
Fajitas
right. For Jesus.
for Jesus. Fajitas for
Jesus is pretty
Jesus.
Okay, no,
A
you
really
did
bad
not.
case of fajitas.
Made with a little lamb.
Genesis, Leviticus.
Oh man, this is going bad.
This is
I'm
going
doing-
sideways real quick. It's great.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm like, Lord, forgive me. I'm like, this is not. This is not what I do.
Can I? Nope.
Forgive their pronunciation,
That is a
for
wall.
they know not what they do.
They know not what they're getting themselves into.
What they
Where am
done?
I getting shot from? Oh. There we go.
Shot from the heart. User fatality. And you're too late. Oh, you give death a, bad name. You played your part.
Play your game. Oh, just. Why are you running past me anyway? Or fajitas are Ron's lust of the flesh.
Fajita, fajita. Da, 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 da. I
Dun-dun-dun.
prefer a soft shell taco.
Try and sneak around a little bit. I don't know if this will actually work or not, but you never know.
I think I need to buy cheese and crackers for the office party on Monday. I need to change that on my calendar right now. Just want to let you know what I'm doing here. Want to appreciate your help here, Paul?
Inconceivable.
Let's see.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
You gotta
No,
say it with
she's
the accent.
pregnant.
This is my accent.
Right? No.
That was
That's
pretty
not
good.
correct.
You should use that one. This is my accent.
I do think it's
Oh my
because of the
God.
outrageous accent.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
I worked within. Oh, did I lose you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I almost unplugged my mic with my foot. I worked with an Armenian, and he was talking about pomegranate. That's it, pomegranate. And he would say, "This is the fruit of my country," and he was like, kind of joking around, but also serious, because it is the fruit of his country.
The pomegranate?
Pomegranate, yeah, of Armenia.
Yeah. Okay. United States doesn't have it. We have a
We don't have fruit.
bird. Yeah, we don't have fruit.
Pineapple.
That's Hawaii.
It seems like pineapple would be our fruit.
I think apples would be our fruit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think apple. That's probably true. Because we're like, yeah, we're gonna eat from the true. We know we have knowledge of good and evil here in the United States. We know what's best for the world. So yes,
Not just we want what's best for you, we know what's best for you.
we know what's best for you.
I used to like apple pie. Then I went to pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
Apple pie's not bad.
Okay.
I'm a pecan pie guy.
Good. All right.
Does that make me sacrilegious?
I don't think so.
Trying to figure out who likes pecan pie. Southern. That's actually like a southern thing. No, I have friends who grow pecans. They're down south. That's what I'm assuming. Sorry. They're very, it's a fancy sounding, but also maybe difficult. Oh, you're dead.
I shot a grenade out of my rifle at close range. And, it was a poor decision.
What are you shooting? Oh,
There's a guy up on that billboard.
yeah. Dead guy.
He's dead now, but
Right.
it makes you snack religious from Spatch.
Snack religious.
That's more like it.
What were you guys talking about earlier?
Oh, my ramblings and musings. Before we got completely derailed.
What was glut racing? It was. We can reel it back in. It was the motivations of the heart.
Mhm.
I was talking to a friend about when he was camping about gluttony,
Mhm.
and it seemed like a preparation for not so much preparation for like the black, doomsday, but saving up food and supplies and saving money.
Well, yeah,
because
not so much saving it for like an emergency, but more just like managing your patterns of purchase and consumption so that you can actually not be subject to the whims of somebody else or subject to the added costs that come from buying things from a convenience store rather than buying a whole bunch at once for yourself. Does that all check out?
Yeah, I mean, Peugeot, this was a while ago, but he clicked something for me when he said that money is basically a store of value through time.
Yep.
But only insofar as the binding to that money is valued. And that's really what inflation is. So the binding, however bound people are in aggregate, collective belief of a people, if together at the same time everyone ceased believing in money, it no longer works, So
There's some pretty powerful spells around that particular thing, though. So
yeah, very, very much.
what is inflation then in that arena? Thingamabob.
People don't believe in it as much as they did before, or it takes a greater material quantity in order to achieve the same belief.
So it's devaluing money.
Yeah.
And so is compound interest. It was a joke I kind of thought of as Afra was talking about it. You lend me money for my house, and then you say, now when I give you this money, it's going to devalue as time goes on. So you're going to have to give me more. At least it's going to devalue in your universe, but not in mine. And that's, I was just having fun with it. But it seems like, compound interest is basically you give money or you're getting money from someone to buy something, and you have to pay them back more over time. And that to me actually seems like inflation, built-in inflation.
So delaying payment is a little bit different than inflation. So
Okay.
because I actually had a brief exchange, I forget who it was with, but in one of Grizz's comment sections, basically trying to say, hey, there's some really good work that's been done regarding like video game economies. Like you don't actually have to have debt in order to have a currency. Like that's how our current system is set up, but that's not actually required for it to work. Like video game economies, you don't have to, like the way that the current economic systems work, you have to, oh goodness, what am I getting myself into here? So the government sells bonds to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve issues currency using those bonds as collateral. Like that's how the system is designed to work. And what I would contend is that the main thing that really provides is just a legitimate pathway for tax dollars to be farmed from people into the hands of, oh, we got the crossbow, nice, into the hands of those bondholders. So it basically making a literal tax farm out of people.
Right.
And then giving that money to people who already hold assets.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because like when you have a video game economy, what you have going on there is so you have money coming into the economy through drops and other stuff, and that's referred to commonly as faucets because that's where the money is coming in. And then as the money comes in, if you like, one of the issues that World of Warcraft had for a while was that it was just bringing a ton of money in and it didn't have a way of letting that money go back out again. And so it was having a ton of inflation. And the way that you fix that inflation is you have to have a way for that money to leave that economy, whether that's fees associated with auction houses was one of the main ways that they did it in WoW. There's other ways to handle it as well, but that like you just have some way that the player is paying money, in-game money, to that central authority, and that takes that money out of economic circulation. And so what you do in order to stabilize the value of a currency, man. Okay, there's just a whole bunch of people here. I damaged myself a bunch, but you know what? We're just gonna grenade. Because that seems like the better way of solving this problem. Okay. Now that that problem has been solved with significant amounts of health lost, because the real thing that is what causes inflation is you have too much money chasing too much goods. Or too few goods. Too much money chasing too few goods. And that can happen either as a consequence of the money supply increasing, or as a consequence of the quantity of goods decreasing. Usually it's because of the money increasing, though. Just the way, like, you don't, unless you have like a mass die-off or something, there haven't really been any circumstances where an economy has been contractionary in terms of the goods produced. At least not past a small recession.
Not in Yeah,
the
not
long
in
term.
recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been big ones throughout history, like the bubonic plague, Black Death was
Yep.
a huge one.
Yeah.
But the bubonic plague actually restructured the. It did more to kind of create meritocracy in Europe than anything before or since. Because it kind of broke because it hit rich and poor alike. It broke the family dynastic structure. It basically set up the Renaissance to be able to take place because families weren't locked into their established bastions of power.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard that before, but that definitely makes sense.
Well, it didn't increase the workers' wages a lot. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, 1/3.
It did increase their wages a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So, in a video game economy, because this is totally new to me, does just one small group of people get rich, or do you have a?
So the issue with any economy, and you see it in video game economies particularly, is that it's the Matthew principle. If you have assets, then you're able to generate assets. The way, so like when I played EVE Online more in the past, one of the ways that I made a bunch of money was by buying and selling stuff on on the market there. And if you have more resources to start, then that means that you have more of an ability to buy things than whoever your competitors are. And so I can buy more stuff, and then I can have more stuff available to sell, and so it kind of just grows and escalates from there.
And this was real money.
No, this is in-game money.
I'm sorry?
This was in-game money.
It was not.
Yeah. Well, in former games, Ron, there was a much clearer divide between financial systems just within games and the financial system outside of games. Like you couldn't, in the early internet days, you couldn't buy with physical money, with hard currency, game stuff. Like that wasn't something that happened. And then it started happening more and more that people were spending real money. So at first, game companies like fought against that.
Yep.
Because they're like, we don't like the guy who's got $1,000 to spend. Yeah.
There's that, but there's also like legal reasons why you don't want to do that too. Like, if you allow for a free exchange of your currency into physical currency, then if you have like in-game gambling or something like that, you have now opened yourself up to all sorts of interesting regulations.
Yeah, but the game companies, just to finish that thought, the game companies started embracing it. In-game transactions, and because a lot of game companies really do want you to spend your money on things like the way your character looks in the game. Aesthetics, and maybe not things that change the outcome or dynamics of the game, but things that are because again, it's all in relation to the perceived belief in that thing. So if how I am viewed in a virtual environment is important, the same way that people view how I look in the real world is important, that I wear designer clothes or designer shoes, or that I have this hat, or I have like the best horse in the world, so it's all of this acquisition is really a status symbol.
Yep.
And so it doesn't matter if it's virtual or physical, if that results in social status, and in you feeling good about yourself.
Yep.
Which even more elementary, it's like you feeling good about yourself is the status thing. So you were doing so well.
I was. And yet.
And on that note, gentlemen, it's somewhat late over here. Afril, I appreciate you dying.
Of course.
It always brings me great joy.
Rejoice. Ron.
Rejoice. Yes, Neil. I rejoice.
It's been awesome.
Neil's dying. He dies valiantly. You're like, oh no, not again. Like,
Sometimes. A lot of them are stupid deaths.
but, well, I enjoy those too. They're fun. So, Neil, if I don't talk to you between now and then, and for everyone else, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Ron.
Merry Christmas, Ron. Yeah, I bet we'll talk before then.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Continue, Don. Carry on.
Carry on passing away.
Carry on, my Ron.
And on that note, we're out of here. Goodbye.
Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely frustrating for me though, like trying to talk economics, because there's a lot of people who feel like they have an understanding of it who haven't even taken like Econ 101, and then there's also a lot of people who have taken basic economics and so think they understand based off of the lessons that they were taught, but don't realize that there's more going on than the simplistic, like there's certain, maybe not outright lies, but like there's certain things that's like, oh, that's what that is, that I've figured out in the years after I've gotten out of college. And so it's like, how do you have a conversation with somebody who's still very much blue-pilled about what constitutes like sensible economics, who doesn't understand that there's so much of it that is just based on how do you control people in order to get them to do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do worry about Pareto distributions, and I have a lot of unorthodox thoughts and beliefs on this. In that I do think I have so many unorthodox thoughts and beliefs, man. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin, really. So one is this. Okay, so something that's more mainstream consensus is that if we have a shrinking tax base, meaning the population of the future is not going to be as large as the population of now, that's going to accelerate our debt crisis, and that's not good. Like we need more people. We either need higher productivity in terms of things that we're actually making and producing, or we need more people in order to sustain that. Yeah, or or those that are, man, this is so rough. It's like we have to inevitably, I don't see any other way around it. Like we got to raise the age at which things like Social Security, Medicare kick in.
Well, those things, I don't think that those should be things generally. But yeah, they're not sustainable. The only way they were sustainable was by having like a 3-to-1 ratio of pay in to pay out. And once the baby boom passes, it's like, okay, yeah, you guys have this as an entitlement, but literally it's like, and the thing that's really frustrating to me is it's not going to break in like a predictable way. Like what's going to happen is we're going to, like, because we're just going to continue paying out Social Security until it's no longer functional. Like it's just not going to be something that ever gets touched. I'm pretty sure. Like maybe at some point we'll realize that it's a dead system that needs to be revamped, and then they'll it'll be like a third of a year increase every year until it no longer exists. Like that would be, I think, the most kind way to get rid of it, is basically saying, okay, like everybody who was planning on this, we're sorry, but like, we're gonna have to get rid of it, and so if you are 3 years before retirement, you're going to have to do an extra year. If you're 6, it's an extra 2, 9, and so on and so forth until it no longer exists.
Yeah, and as long as as long as the proportion of the population that desires to still get some out of that bucket, because rightfully so, they paid into it.
Well, everybody did.
Yeah, well, not
Everybody
everybody. Government employees don't.
They do actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's silly the way that works, but there is a portion of, if you are a soldier or a federal worker, a portion of your paycheck is still going to taxes and Social Security and everything else. So you are, yeah.
I thought you can't collect Social Security because you have a pension or whatever. I could be wrong.
No, you get both.
Wow.
Yep.
Ain't you special?
I mean, I'm not a federal worker anymore, so it's no longer as applicable.
He's not a Fed, everybody.
Well,
he said it directly.
I don't know about that. Don't want to be, telling lies. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. Could we convert it instead to like an individual's system, like 401k, but mandatory?
Well,
so
I don't think that works though. Like I don't like, and this is the really frustrating thing for me is like, how do you have a system where you're actually having a proper social safety net, so people are being taken care of who haven't taken care of themselves, but like, whenever you institute systems that are like that, it actively disincentivizes people from taking care of themselves. Because if you take care of yourself, then you end up not getting as much as the people who grasshoppered themselves by, like, they ate the whole corpse and now you're being forced to share some of your jerky with them. Like, that's not really fair either.
Yeah, it's the problem of...
But you also don't want somebody to starve. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, willingness to help those who are in genuine need. Yeah, I mean, this is the... yeah.
So, yeah, I think that a big part of it is just encouraging people to be more self-sufficient, but part of the problem with that is that self-sufficient people are more hazardous to those who would seek to have control over large populations of the United States. And so, like, if I can be self-sufficient, then you can't threaten me by saying, I'm going to take away your food. It's like, okay, well, you can take away my food, but you can't take away everyone's and get away with it for more than like 3 months at a time. And even then, like, they're going to be rioting by the time that's over.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I don't know how much people understand that that's kind of the game that you have to play in a lot of cases. Is it's not about what somebody can or can't do to just you as an individual. It's that if they try and do it to too many people at once, that's when it fails. Like, that was the whole reason why the trucker protest debanking stuff ended the way that it did, was because there were runs on Canadian banks as a consequence of it. Like, they were trying to debank the people who were at the trucker protest, and then there were a lot of other people who got very anxious about their money being in banks that could just, yank it without warning, without real cause. I cannot shoot for crap. Any thoughts on that? You might have to go AFK for a second.
Well,
oh, there he is.
No, I'm here, but I'm yeah. It's going to be an interesting 20 or 30 years. I think
I think the way that Social Security gets forced to be fixed is China calling us on our debt, or us having to go under what's it called? IMF austerity restrictions or something like that. Like, I don't know how that works though, because we're also the ones who have the big gun military, and so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
who's going to call us on our bluff?
We'll just inflate our way out of it if necessary.
Well, that's the problem though, is that I don't know if we can. Like, there's a level
Why
at
not?
which, because at a certain point, there's other problems that start happening as a consequence of trying to inflate your way out of a debt crisis. Like, one of the things, or so there's three things that make something useful as money, because money is functionally a tool. And so those three things are that it works well as a store of value, a medium of exchange, and a unit of account. And so if you start overinflating your currency, then it's no longer functioning as a proper store of value, or even, like, at a certain point, as a proper unit of account. Like, people are going to have to switch to other things to act as their way of exchanging things in the world.
What's Europe's equivalent of Social Security, and where are they in relation to that?
Oh, I don't actually know.
I got to imagine that they have to be worse off than we are, because their economy hasn't grown nearly at the pace that the U.S. economy has grown over the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I know that Sweden has a lot of very large, like, social programs and stuff, but I don't know exactly what the nature of those is. Yeah. And then you also have the added fun of more and more coming to light about lots and lots of fraud in terms of, like, benefits fraud. That was one big thing that, because my friend has a sister who's a social worker, and so that's one of the things that she has to deal with a lot, is, like, and not just, like, Mexican immigrant communities, but pretty much every immigrant community. Like, she's working primarily with, like, Ukrainians and Russians and Belarusians and stuff. And oh, come on.
It did not like you mentioning Belarusians.
Did not, apparently. That was where we drew the line. So do I have to, like, just get out and, like, let it crush my car? And what? I have to keep the buggy alive, I guess.
Just crushing it.
So wait, I have to get through this then. Can I shoot the train? Is that an option?
Yeah, you got to sneak in there.
Oh my gosh.
Got to go full speed. Can you afterburners? Phaser set to full. I mean, stun.
Oh, I can speed boost. I completely forgot about turbo.
Yeah, afterburners.
There we go.
Turbo. If I make sound effect goes faster. Oh, sweet. Look, I was actually
There
helpful.
we go. You were. Thank you, Neil. I
Security.
appreciate that. You just have to hit the turbo, man. I don't know what the problem is. As I ram into the wall. Probably should turn around there. But yeah, I don't know what is gonna happen. I know that the current path is unsustainable, that there's going to be something else that breaks, and that breaking is going to cause other problems that will eventually force the resolution of all of these other problems that are being caused by bad monetary policy, bad fiscal policy. But because we have the Navy that is protecting all of these trade routes, like what's everybody else gonna do? Like there's just nothing that they can. So
Yeah, and we still have. I mean, we need the immigrants for a tax base, or we need to have more children. That's the straight up.
well, I don't think that either of those are strictly necessary, though. Like if we want to maintain the same standard of living, yes, but I think that's part of the problem is that, and not like I don't think it's necessarily the case for most Americans, but that there are certain Americans who have large amounts of wealth who are not necessarily stewarding it very well. And I don't know. And like I'm also just kind of talking out of my ass when it comes to that, but it just like I don't know what the answer is. I don't think anybody has a way of actually like fixing it because the problem is functionally systemic. It's not the decisions that are being made by one individual person. It's individual decisions that are adding up into a system that then incentivizes other individuals to maintain that system. And it's not until you have people who are deliberately trying to dismantle that game by being like, I don't think you can just be like against the game. I think you have to have some other game that you're trying to play that supersedes the game that's breaking. But you have to have enough people agreeing to play that game, and then they have to have some way of subverting that system into a different system. It's a lot of stuff all at once.
So I think so. One of my controversial beliefs is that this idea of turning 18 and being completely independent of your family and your parents and making enough money to afford your own home and land. I think this is
It's bullshit.
80. I think it's an 80-year-old invention. I think it was an anomaly of post World War II
Yep.
America and some other aspects of America where, you know, the frontier, like there's a reason that 50 acres and a mule had such a powerful psychological impact because that idea of just receiving and being able to do something with it was really powerful.
Well, and I think that if your family doesn't set you up for success, that you should be able to, like, that should be the way our system's set up, is that somebody can come from nothing and they can make a name for themselves, that they can buy property, that you have that upward mobility potential. But I also think that a big part of the problem that we're having right now is there's like no generational wealth. Like, if my great grandparents owned their house and my grandparents owned their house and my parents owned their house, why is it like, where did the wealth go? Like, why is it that like there was not money or wealth available to just buy me a house outright, so I'm not paying half again the value of my house in interest? Like, that's one of the things that I want to try and do to set my kids up for success, is how do I have enough wealth stored up so that way I can cover their housing costs and set them up for success, and then they can pay it forward for their kids. Like, how much of our wealth is being siphoned off just as a consequence of that mismanagement?
Yep.
But then that requires you to not just eat the carcass. It requires you to have the discipline to preserve the meat from the kill that you have, and then over time, eat a little bit of it at a time.
Yeah.
And it's also just so, like, how many people, if I
Do
said
you
that
think
to them, would
also
be,
there's a problem of expectations?
yeah,
Meaning that what I need to feel normal is like $400,000 a year,
yeah,
and when did that change? Like, is that like I think expectations have been inflated faster than our earnings.
yep,
That's for sure. But
yep. No, that's exactly it. Like, that's what I see with so many people struggling is like, like in big cities, like people are living paycheck to paycheck on $300,000 a year, and it's like, what are you doing? And the problem is that they have expectations either pushed onto them from other people or that they've formed for themselves in their own mind, and it's like, oh, but like if I have this level of wealth, then there's expectations, there's social expectations that I have to go out and eat at these restaurants, and some of that's like themselves putting that expectation onto themselves, and some of that's friends putting the expectations onto them of like, hey, we have to go out this weekend, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I'm not saving any money, but hey, at least I'm living, right?
I think this also relates to having kids, is that if children are an extension of grandparents, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then the kids are connected to the grandkids, it's not a big deal to sacrifice your earnings potential having kids in your early 20s, because you're just a broader extension of your greater family, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Right,
But if
but
those early 20s are where you're accumulating your own wealth and money, then you're not going to have kids because you can't accumulate. Whereas if you're reliant on a family structure supporting and mentoring and growing you, so you are gaining skill and capability, but perhaps not wealth, because you're having yeah.
well, and
I,
how
I
many
think
people?
some.
Sorry,
Go ahead. No, I think the norm throughout history has been that, let's say, the grandparents are the wealth preserving and building in terms of land deals, relationships, because also grandparents would have the most established relationships in a community.
Yep.
And you got to consider that grandparents would have been in their 40s and 50s, and so the kids in their 20s having families and children would be learning and growing off of the relationships with grandparents, but also primarily responsible for growing their family, building a family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But and this is the other thing too, is like how much of this is a consequence of the boomer spells that were cast on them of like, you're, if you're not making your kid move out and like earn their own way in the world, then you're weakening them. You're not letting them live up to their full potential.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah, no. There is something to that. There is something to that. But I think the problem is that it became the norm versus
Well, here's something that I've thought of. I definitely struggled to like. I hate the fact that this is a term, but I struggled to do adulting properly when I first moved out. And like my dad, when he came to visit me up in Alaska, had to like help me clean up my apartment because I just wasn't keeping things maintained very well. And I think that that's a really important thing, is like learning how to maintain your space independent of your parents. But you have to like still they still have to come and help you do it or help you figure it out. Like, it shouldn't be this thing where you're just like out on your own all of a sudden and you there's nothing or no one else around to help teach you or help you to work through it when it's like I haven't been motivated enough to do my dishes for a while. Like
Yeah. Yeah, which goes back to motivation. Nihilism. I'm convinced the true enemy is nihilism.
it is, but it's not something that you can just be like, but there's plenty of meaning all around you. What are you talking about? And I feel like that's the solution that gets given by a lot of previous generations because to them like it is so self-evidently meaningful, all of the things that are present in their life. And I feel like kids probably helps out a lot with that too, which is one thing that I am really looking forward to and really hoping for. So we'll see. I don't know.
Cool.
But yeah, what do you do if you don't see a future for yourself or for the world?
Well, Robin Hood.
You steal
So
from the rich and give to the poor?
Not exactly, but the idea that there's not a future for the world is, I think, wrong. I think it's just flat wrong. Now, if the AI takes over and we have a Terminator scenario in the next 10 years, you can remind me of this conversation in heaven, and I'll be like, you know what, Af, you were right. You were right. You know, I was sorry. I underestimated the machine intelligence. That was a mistake.
Hey,
The idea that we're going to find the same meaning and value in like going to the movies and in participating in the suburban dream and the white picket fence, the idea that things are going to be the same as they were the last 80 years, that is wrong. But the idea that there's no hope in the future is flat out wrong. And I have tremendous hope. Just what I mean by Robin Hood is if we live our lives by a completely different value system. Oh, you paused the stream. I was actually watching.
oh, I was gonna say howdy slasher in the comments because I didn't want to interrupt you talking, but I wanted to acknowledge that he came in.
No, you're good. I just want to make sure you're still there.
Yep.
The value system that we had over the last 80 years of like, yeah, you just do the right things and you build a nice normal family and everything's going to be fine. And I think the value system now has to be something like the outcast. And I'm not saying the outlaw, but I think it does have to be like voluntary outcast. And I don't even mean taking pride in that outcast position or like being happy about it or wallowing in it, like wearing it as a badge of honor, because I think that's a mistake. I think it's building and living in a way that is different than the norm, that calls people out of nihilism, for bad. Like there's, yeah. Anyway, we're already doing it in my humble opinion, starting with relationships, but we are doing that, and I do think it is a movement, and I do think it's going to be something if we stay friends over the next 20 years. And that's the question of like what's gonna make it or break it is the strength and the durability of the relationships over the next however many years. And what gives me a lot of comfort is I see the structure that we have now is very similar to a fraternity structure, except I see it on more adult ground. And when I say fraternity structure, I mean like a collegiate fraternal structure, meaning we can disagree, we can fight about things, we can have arguments, we can have falling outs, and it doesn't it doesn't overall impact the structural integrity of the total group.
Yep.
And in fact, like having a falling out there's every motivation to reconcile and regroup, because in having a falling out, you're undermining your continuity with the overall group and not just the one person you have a falling out. So it's in the group's best interest to knit it back together, but hash it out factually and fairly. And that's really cool because, I was in an excellent fraternity, and it's the kind of thing like, if that structure was able to continue into adulthood, like normally, I would still be in that structure. Like, it was that good. Like, I loved it. And I haven't had that before until TLC. Now it's virtual now, but it also is a lot easier to live with people that you can just be like, hey, to hell with you for a while. I'm going to step away and because we have our real lives. But at the same time, it's more than virtual, because we actually, if we see each other, we rely on each other, we're dependable on, we trust one another, et cetera, et cetera. And that's always tested to the extent that people are relying on one another. But it gives me, like I don't have any illusions that the world we're entering into is just like normal happy-go-lucky prosperity gospel, but I'm excited to be, with you guys. That's it. So that's how I feel about it. Maybe I have grandiose ideas, but I'm not so sure about that.
No, I'm pretty much on the same page as you are. The main thing for me that's really interesting about this particular community is the fact that it's like combination of online and in person. Like, it's not just an in-person fraternity. It's this weird amalgam between the two. Like, getting to hang out with Skank every so often, like, that's a big thing, a big part of my life at this point. It's like getting to bounce ideas off of him and hear what his thoughts are on things. So, and like, that isn't something that I could have predicted however long ago in my life, like a year or even 2 years ago. You're one of our allies. Yep. I don't quite know where things are going. But I like the fact that I was able to patch things up with Mark Parker. Like, that was a really big green flag to me.
Yeah, that's really cool. Mark is good at reconciling. Like, yeah, he's great at pissing people off and getting angry at others, but he's also great at reconciling. And no, so like the ability to reconcile in proportion to the ability to get angry is like, yeah, it's usually sustainable then. So the problem is like when someone's ability to get angry like far exceeds their like the grudge. The superpower of the grudge, which is actually a super weakness of the like somebody who's really good at holding grudges. I mean, we probably have some of those in this community, but it's I think
frequent,
the Christian aspect, the Christian aspect, like what might be most essential about that is like forgiveness and repentance. So some ability to like properly integrate back into the community.
Yep. Yeah. I don't, and this is the frustrating thing for me. It's like I don't really see, like, the basket weavers are probably the closest community that I'm aware of that like kind of matches up with what we're trying to do, but even then they're not really quite doing it in the same sorts of ways, and they don't have the same sorts of motivations. It's very much more of a, we're trying to form neo-feudalist communities is basically where they're at. And I don't think that, I think that might actually be part of the answer, but I don't think that's really the whole answer. And don't really know. I feel like at some point in the future, there's going to be some level of commiseration between, at the very least, us and them, and probably other groups of people as well. But what does that actually look like? How does that actually play out? I don't know.
It's early days, and
Yep.
that's kind of the exciting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting! People are dying out there, and you're calling it exciting. Those are not the words I would choose to describe it.
I mean,
That's Dr. Oaken in Independence Day.
the thing that I come back to is like there have been plenty of times where things have been way worse. Like, would you rather be in the United States today or be somebody who's having to deal with the Phoenicians raiding your coastline? Or the Berbers raiding your coastline, or any
Oh,
other
yeah.
number of like
Straight
issues,
up.
times
Yeah.
in history where like people really just have no comprehension of how bad things can get.
Yep.
in
Agreed.
terms of, have you watched Goblin Slayer? You aware of that
No.
anime? Okay. The first episode of that one is pretty rough. Basically, like the antagonists are goblins, and goblins basically use human females to reproduce. It doesn't get too graphic, but it's definitely there. It's just a brief reminder that, hey, yeah, things get way worse. Things can get way worse than where they're at right now. And I don't know how you talk about that without really, like, messing people up.
Well, one step at a time.
Yep.
Take this med kit.
As I try and fight this dropship. No, I don't have ammo. That's probably important. Yeah, it's pretty graphic slasher. Definitely not a kid's show. But it's also, I think, an important reminder for people, like, you're not... the world that you exist in is a very comfortable little bubble that we've managed to create for ourselves. And that historically things have been way worse. And I don't think we should be dwelling on them per se. I don't think that's really healthy either, but I think that we have a tendency to ignore them because they're uncomfortable. Like, not, and uncomfortable is maybe the biggest undersell. Now my stopped randomly strafing. That's nice.
Well, can you name a single issue that the United States has worse than Europe at the present?
No, I don't think I can.
Yeah. I can't think of anything obviously either.
And that's not to like shit on Europe. It's just, yeah. Am I supposed to jump off of this? I guess so. Nope. That was the wrong answer. Yeah. Well, and the only way that things get better is, I'm pretty sure, by people having the same kind of faith that you're talking about. Of like, if you don't have faith that things will get better, then they won't get better. Like, you have to approach it with that mindset for there to even be the possibility of it actually happening.
See, I disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the prophets in the Old Testament didn't have faith that things would get better, at least not within their lifetime. They just had faith that they were doing God's will.
Okay. Okay, that's a really interesting point.
Right along there, and watch your step.
Because the getting better thing is more of the self-serving, that everybody's in it for themselves. Like, race to the bottom, accumulate, accumulate, accumulate.
Well, even if it's not getting better for yourself, that it's at least going to be better for your kids or your grandkids. That the hard work that you're putting in now will actually pay off at some point. And that's not
Yeah,
guaranteed,
I
actually.
I think that's a step forward. I'm like a full absurdist where I think you do the thing even if you don't know if that's correct or true.
But you know it's
Meaning
God's will.
once you accept, yeah, exactly. Like once you accept the outcome is not up to you, and you're just gonna do the best that happens, and I'm not saying any of us really detach fully from outcome. I'm not saying that at all. But like, I can measure my well-being in direct proportion to how little I connect my actions to expected outcome. Man, this is right out of Starship Troopers. They stole that right out of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, they kind of did, huh?
Finest mind of his generation. Come to such an end.
Finest mind who stepped on... Well, I shouldn't talk. I also stepped on the sand.
Can't think you'd leave us alone. Without Laszlo, what's the point? I know you tried to help. Stay with him a while.
Faith without hope, says Mr. Skankenstein.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Faith without hope.
Yeah, I would say it's more essential than hope. I think hope can be a nice sustainer. But it's a nice to have. Like if it comes as a byproduct, I actually think the biggest mistake in the founding of the United States was the line pursuit of happiness. And I'm probably flat out wrong in saying that. I probably don't know what the heck I'm talking about with that line. But like happiness is not the pursuit of life. Like it's just not.
Nope.
If it
It's
happens,
negative
great.
utilitarian
That's
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I really ascribe to the Petersonian mantra of that most of your positive emotion in life comes from the process of doing things, not the outcomes. And that's been my experience. The older I get, the more so, like, I could care less about what I receive for Christmas. Question is, like, do I piss anyone off? It's almost, actually, I have a negative utilitarianism of Christmas gifts. Do I disappoint or piss anyone off with my gifts? And if I do not, all is well.
You should take my uncle's
So
approach, and you should deliberately give gifts that piss people off to people who are annoying to you.
As enjoyable as that is, I do not want to contribute to the generational breakdown.
Oh, it's so much
Are we
fun
headed
sometimes,
for a
though.
breakdown?
Wait, was that K-pop Demon Hunters? No.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. It's like, wait a second. I've heard that somewhere before. I think my wife's been singing that in the shower. What are your thoughts about K-pop Demon Hunters? Monsieur Daedalus. I think his daughter heard him singing it. It's like,
Wait, what?
oh, I was asking what you thought of K-pop Demon Hunters, and then you were answering. I was like, oh, maybe his
no.
daughter.
Sorry, I had something else blurring in my headphones, so I missed your question. I liked it. I liked it. I thought I don't actually remember that much about it. I thought the sword at the end is the spirit of the guy or whatever. So like he's headed for a comeback. Are we headed for a
Oh my
comeback?
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty popular fan theory too.
Yeah.
So.
I think
could see it.
what should we call it? It got one of the core things right, which is the guy's willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice for the lady. Yeah. But the question, really, the thing that it doesn't answer is what is she willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for?
Yep.
And that is the question of our time, is like, what is the feminine willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for?
Well,
The masculine is very much willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for the feminine. The problem is the feminine does not desire that sacrifice. And so the masculine doesn't know what to do. And so it casts about like a flayed limb crawling on the ground.
Yep. Well, I don't even necessarily think it's an ultimate sacrifice. It's more like, how many women of my generation and your generation have basically said, I don't want to have children because that would be too much of an imposition on what I want out of life. And like, how much of that is their own choosing versus what they were mind controlled into wanting, and then what are you supposed to do as a man when that's what you're up against? It's like, oh, she just wants travel Instagram stuff. Like, that's what she wants. Not relationship, not family, not anything else, just hedonism. And what worries me is how much of human evolution has basically just allowed... Oh, you got to drop? Okay. No worries. I'll finish the thought, though. How much of human evolution has allowed for that kind of mentality and that kind of behavior? Because basically, if a woman was attracted to a man, then she would have sex with him, and then she would have a baby, and then she would have to figure it out. Like, once you introduce the pill, once you introduce contraceptives, and you give women the choice of whether they are going to have a child or not, like, I feel like that's, like, we're just going through that evolutionary bottleneck is what it feels like, is that when you say to women writ large, like, hey, we're going to give all of you the choice of whether you actually want to have children or not. Like, once you offer that, what happens? And I think that what what seems to be the answer, at least. Can I rotate this? No, I can't rotate it. What seems to be the answer is that there's a whole lot of women who say, yeah, no thanks. And I don't think that that's something that we're just going to fix. I think that that's something that's just going to have to run its course. That you're going to have a whole bunch of genetic lines dead end because women who previously had kids without meaning to are now going to choose not to have those kids. And that's going to cause all sorts of other knock-on effects. But I don't think that's a uniquely American problem. You see the same losses of fertility in Korea and China and India. Actually, I don't know if India is having the same deal, but there's been indications that there were a lot of lies being told about fertility rates in Latin and South America, that they're actually much lower than they were being reported previously. So I think that the role of, and I don't want to speak for Christians, so maybe not use that term. The role for people who are trying to be a positive force in the world is going to be finding others who want to be that positive force, encouraging them and fueling them, trying to help as many people as possible also do the same. And then trying to ease the pain and suffering as much as possible for all of the people who are going to suffer the consequences of large swaths of the population deciding that they want to end their genetic lines. And not even necessarily deciding it in that sort of a way. Like, that's not how they would frame it. Like, they're just pursuing their own self-interest. But by pursuing their own self-interest, they're going to deny themselves of children and grandchildren, and they're not going to have anybody to take care of them in old age. Not to say that there's not already issues with people who didn't do right by their kids and the kids don't want to be around them anymore. So. And on that cheery note, I do have some hope for the world. Because especially, like, if I didn't have TLC, I think I would be a lot more black-pilled as far as, like, I don't see most of the people, like my family, I do, but my people in my professional life, I don't see much potential there as far as trying to change the world in a truly positive direction that is actually able to counterbalance the systems that I see that are forcing everyone in a negative path. But yeah. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? And with that, I think we'll go ahead and call it for today. So, goodbye then. Be safe, friends. Don't you dare go hollow. Merry Christmas.